It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. I am Ajuatin Kramadom. Coming up, ad hoc committee probing chaos during vetting of ministerial nominees to resume work tomorrow.
We should hold on to this. And I said, no, that was not the instruction I received from the Speaker. The instruction everybody heard Speaker loud and clear yesterday that the committee should continue into it. So.
Also coming up, some Clote Kwale residents protest verbal attack on Member of Parliament during parliamentary sitting. Still in the bulletin, lobbying for ministerial positions intensifies within National Democratic Congress ahead of last four nominations by President John Dramani Mahama to ministerial positions. Still in the bulletin, two leading clubs in Ghana's football, Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Folk, push for enhanced security as police arrest suspect in connection with the Inswatreman Kotoko clash. And later, families forced to exhume deceased relatives for reburial following devastating tidal waves that has left many displaced in Keta.
The deaths are from the graves. Because the sea is taking their graves, they have to come and remove them and relocate them to another place. It is causing more harm than good to the environment.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next half hour. Remember, the news is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, tune into Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa Beach, 105.5 FM in Takrade, and Sky Power and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrade. In the Bunu region, this is Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyang. Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, tune into Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. If you're in the Northern region, this is Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM. In Upper East, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jarapa 96.1 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company this afternoon. We begin from Parliament, and the chairman of the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee investigating the vetting chaos at the Appointments Committee on January 30, Emmanuel Bejua, has announced that the committee will resume its public hearing on Friday, February 7. This follows the abrupt suspension of proceedings on Wednesday. Now, while the suspension was initially attributed to a directive from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, it was later clarified that the decision came from the Clerk of Parliament. Speaking on the Channel 1 newsroom, the Whole West MP confirmed that Speaker Bagbin has now directed the committee to continue its work.
I worked with my committee members to find out what really happened because we do not understand. In fact, the Speaker's instruction, even on the last, that was yesterday, was specifically that the committee should continue with its work.
Yeah.
So we're confused as to what was really happening. And they said, well, when Speaker gave instruction, he said we should hold on. They spoke to Speaker, and Speaker directed that we should, since they've apologized, we should hold on to this. And I said, no, that was not the instruction I received from the Speaker. The instruction everybody heard Speaker loud and clear yesterday that the committee should continue into it. So I will call Speaker before I call Speaker. And Speaker said he has not given an instruction that we should stop, that we should go ahead. And so in the chaos, we decided that, well, we have already suspended it. And then the way forward is to allow the Speaker to return and give specific instruction.
The Speaker returns on Friday.
He returns on Friday, so he'll give his instruction as to the way forward.
You heard the chairman of the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee, Emmanuel Bejua, who stay on matters relating to Parliament now, and some residents in Clote Kwale constituency are protesting some verbal attacks against their Member of Parliament, Dr. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings. The protest is currently ongoing, and I have been joined by my colleague Ejubi Riafia Akintin for details on that. Ejubi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Adwa. Good afternoon.
What is the reason for this protest, and where is the protest happening currently?
Okay, Adwa. I'm currently at the NDC head office in Adabraka, where some members of the Krote Kwale constituency are gathered here to submit a petition to the officials, the executive, the heads of the NDC here, as to why they have been silent on some comments that were passed against the MP for Krote Kwale, Dr. Zaneto Adiman Rollins. Now, if we remember, during parliamentary proceedings on Tuesday, February 4, there was a voice that was shouting, daughter of a murderer, sit down, daughter of a murderer, sit down. And this was when some conversations were being had on the floor with regards to the 60th death anniversary of J.B. Dankwa. Now, these conversations on the floor of Parliament sort of escalated, and it was during the escalation that the comment against the MP was made. Now, I have here with me the constituency secretary for Krote Kwale, who is here and will be sharing with us why really they are here today. Hello, sir, and welcome to Citi FM.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, what's your name?
Eugene St. Elliott.
Okay, Eugene, why are you gathered here in front of the head office today?
Yeah, actually, so we've been here this morning, since morning up to this time, and our mission is very simple. It's a very humble request to our leadership on why the sudden alarming silence on what happened on Tuesday, as you have rightly enumerated. We just cannot understand why on a day, just like as you said, where J.B. Dankwa was being eulogized, we had a member of parliament calling our founder a murderer and calling our MP a daughter of a murderer. And the party leadership has since not said anything, made even a comment about it. And so we find it very, very offensive, and we feel that we also don't want to take the law into our own hands because we are third on the structure from national, region, and then constituency. So we decided this morning that we want to come here, bring a petition to the national leadership for them to tell us why they are quiet about it, and if not that they are quiet but they are doing something behind the scenes, then they should let us know. Else, we will take laws into our hands, march to Parliament, of which yesterday we were there as well, sent a petition to the clerk, who has told us that the speaker is out of town, so when the speaker returns, our message will be conveyed. But we want to hear from our leadership as to why they are very quiet on such an insult. That's why we are here.
All right. Now, since you brought this petition to the head office and also the Parliament, what has been the response to this?
We are being told by the administrator that most of the leadership are not around and that they are elsewhere. So we decided to wait a while. For now, we presented a petition to the director, who took it on behalf of the national chairman and the general secretary. But we want to hang out a while just to wait to see if any of them will pass by. But if not, we've told the director that if we don't get any feedback from them before Monday, we shall sure return here on Monday morning.
When you say that you shall sure return here on Monday, do you mean you are going to take some actions? And what particularly would these actions be?
We are not really going to take any negative action. We just want a response from them. So we will be here in our numbers, this time more numbers, to ask them to respond to it, because we want to know why our founder, the party that we all belong, has been called a murderer, and no person in leadership is saying anything about it.
Right. As well, so you just heard from Eugene St. Elliott, and he is the constituency secretary for the Krote Kwale constituency, and he says that they have submitted their petition to the head office and also a petition to Parliament on this issue, and they are demanding that some sanctions are taken against the persons or individuals who make these comments against Dr. Zaneto Rollins.
Right. Thank you so much, Ajubi Rafiakintin. Do keep an eye on for that for us. If the party's leadership make any comments, we'll definitely get that for our listeners. That's Ajubi Rafiakintin. She's my colleague here at Citi FM, bringing us the details at the NDC's party head office in Adabraka. We'll move on to some other stories, but within the National Democratic Congress and several groups within the party are lobbying for ministerial appointments for their members of parliament in the John Mahama administration. So far, the president has appointed 56 individuals to various ministerial positions, with 4 more expected to bring the total to 60. The latest appeal comes from a group called the Concerned Branch Executives of Medina, which is advocating for the nomination of Medina MP Francis Xavier Sosu as a minister. Now, in a statement addressed to the office of the president, this group is arguing that his appointment would expand the party's electoral base in the region, citing Medina's significant contribution to the NDC's high voter turnout and victory in the 2024 elections. Meanwhile, Francis Xavier Sosu has denied knowledge of this group's existence. Now, the constituency secretary of the New Patriotic Party for Chifu Etimokwa, Frank Kwekuba, has had his finger bitten off during a violent altercation with the constituency youth organizer Kwejuba. Citi News understands that a confrontation erupted during a meeting after a heated argument over factors that led to the party's defeat in the 2024 elections. According to an eyewitness, tensions escalated when some polling station executives accused the constituency secretary of contributing to the party's loss. In an interview with Citi News, Frank Kwekuba stated that the attack occurred because his comments did not sit down well with some members.
Also, an independent body after the election, a committee of formal around, and yet, entity for
After the elections, a representative from the national leadership of the New Patriotic Party (NPP) was visiting various constituencies to engage party members on the reasons behind our loss in the 2024 elections. As an executive member present at the meeting, I was asked to give my honest opinion on the factors that contributed to our defeat. I stood up and shared my thoughts, but it seemed my remarks didn't sit well with some party executives. After the meeting, while heading home, I was suddenly slapped from behind. Before I could react, I realized my hand was in his mouth and he bit me. I lost my index finger and had to be rushed to the hospital.
The right time after the Tuasun Waka. The kind of youth organizer. I a friend of Kujo Debrano, Oluna, and Sawabo Masum.
You have the constituency secretary for the New Patriotic Party in Chifu Etimokwa constituency, Frank Kwekuba. Away from that, families in parts of Ketu South municipality have been forced to exhume and rebury their deceased relatives after tidal waves destroyed several graves. Despite repeated appeals for the government to extend the Keta Sea Defense Project to Amutinu, Salokope and Adina and surrounding communities, residents continue to suffer from severe coastal erosion. Now, the waves have washed away large sections of land, displacing many and now disturbing burial sites. Although the previous government pledged to construct 105 houses on higher ground to relocate affected residents, only 6 have been removed. Speaking to Citi News, Gideon Tete, a unit committee member for the Amutinu Salokope electoral area, called for urgent intervention.
We have so many promises from our governments by building it, but nothing has happened. As you can see, the sea has taken a lot of the houses over here, and the promise that they've made that they will build rooms for us at the other side, only 6 so far has been built out of 105 that they promised to do. As we can see as well, we can see some people over here taking off the deads out from the graves. Because the sea is taking the graves, they have to come and remove them and relocate them to another place. As it is happening like this, it is causing more harm than good to the environment. Graves being removed like this is causing more harm. It's making the health of the people not secured. So we plead for the government to support us, to help us build this place.
You heard Gideon Tete. He's a unit committee member for Amutinu Salokope electoral area. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still ahead, Ghana Great Company Limited GreatCo assures of efforts to avert potential power outages following maintenance works by WACO. We'll bring you details of this and more stories shortly. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
This weekend, the English Premier League takes a backseat as the FA Cup takes center stage. clubs continue to battle for supremacy and the ultimate goal of the FA Cup trophy. On Saturday, Birmingham and Newcastle United kick things off in the 1/16th stage at 5:45 p.m. as Eddie Howe's men aim to avoid an upset. At 8 p.m., it's an all-Premier League clash when Brighton and Hove Albion and Chelsea Football Club battle it out for a ticket to the next round of the competition. On Sunday, underdogs Plymouth host Premier League leaders Liverpool at 3 p.m. while Aston Villa take on Tottenham Hotspur at Villa Park at 5:35 p.m. Join the City Sports team for live radio commentary and analysis. The FA Cup is powered by Citi FM and Talk Sport.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Welcome back to the bulletin. We bring you some more stories. The Ghana Grid Company Limited, GRIDCO, says it is working with stakeholders to mitigate any potential power outages following the commencement of maintenance works on gas pipelines by the West African Gas Pipeline Company, WAPCO. Now, WAPCO, operators of the West African Gas Pipeline, is undertaking major pipeline maintenance expected to be completed by March 2. A joint statement from GRIDCO and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, indicated that stakeholders in the energy sector led by the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition have procured volumes of liquid fuel for some generating plants in Tema to keep them operational during the pigging process. Now, the statement, while thanking the public and stakeholders for their support, assured that there is no cause for concern over potential power outages, commonly referred to as doomsday. The Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has urged the newly appointed administrator of the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund, to prioritize the completion of all unfinished GET Fund projects and reform the country's scholarship system. Now, this follows the appointment of Paul Ejay by President John Dramani Mahama to align with his vision for the fund. Speaking to City News, NAT's General Secretary Thomas Tanko Musa emphasized the need to improve infrastructure by completing ongoing projects and ensuring scholarships benefit the underprivileged.
All the GET Fund projects that have they started, they must ensure that they are, they complete them, and also make sure that we get value for money. They need to do audit of all the projects that they have started and make sure that we get value. If you go to our universities and the training colleges now, you will see a lot of these projects. Some have been abandoned, some 10 years ago, some 12 years ago, among other things. I don't think that is the way to go. It's our money, and it is provided for in the directive principles of state policy that when one government leaves office and another comes, any government that takes over must continue with the old project. After all, it is not your money. It is our money that was used to start the project, so complete it. And I think that will be the way to go. We have too many GET Fund projects all over. The other thing I will also expect them to do is to sanitize the scholarship regime. You see, the scholarship regime is said that you have GNPC doing it, and you have Cook Board and all that. I think the GET Fund must sanitize the scholarship regime, and aside that one, we need to find a way of giving scholarship to people who need them and those who cannot afford. And
you heard the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, Thomas Musa. Now, the paramount Queen Mother of the Shama Traditional Council, Nana Akosua Gyamfiaba II, has called on Ghanaians participating in the upcoming Council of State elections to support the inclusion of more women, particularly Queen Mothers. She believes their presence will complement the President and predominantly male government in advancing national development. Nana Akosua, one of the 9 candidates contesting for the Western Region's Council of State seat, explained her decision to run in an interview with City News in Takoradi.
The Western Regional Electoral Commission closed nominations for the upcoming Council of State elections, with 9 candidates filing to contest. Among them, only 2 are women. One of the female contenders, Nana Akosua Gyamfiaba II, paramount Queen Mother of the Shama traditional area, told Channel 1 TV News that women, particularly Queen Mothers, are well positioned to represent and champion the needs of their communities effectively.
I want every delegate to vote for me so that I can represent Western Region at the Council of State. Then I can help to tell our story. I'm a mother, I'm a woman, and I feel your pain. I feel our pain. And so if you give me the opportunity, I will express our pain in a way that the president will understand and come to our aid. So vote for me. It's about time we as women and queen mothers also stood up and helped our various communities. To be a Council of State member, your core responsibility is to advise the president, strategic planning, and then if the president brings something on board, you all debate, you trash things out, and then advise him accordingly on non-partisan basis.
Addressing her motivation to contesting the Western Region's Council of State seat, Nana Akosua Jamfiaba, who also serves as a Queen Mother of Nyankrom, cited the region's slow pace of development as a key concern.
The region is short of so many things, as the president is even giving out positions to so many regions. Western region, mostly we are left out. A whole lot of CEOs appointments are being made, but how many have we heard? How many CEOs have we heard from Western region? But nobody is speaking. Nobody is saying anything. Why should it be so? Western region, we have so many things. We have gold, we have timber, we have oil, we have everything. Yet we are always put behind. I think it's about time that I had the opportunity to go and have one-on-one chat with the president. Because I'm from here and I'm with the people, I'm on the ground with the people, I know what my people want. So I can tell the president what we want.
With 2 women out of the 9 expected candidates in the upcoming Western Regional Council of State elections, the expectation is that voters would give a chance to a woman representative here in the Western Region at the Council of State. Akwasi Jenny, Takrade.
Away from that, the immediate past managing director of SIC Insurance Company Limited, Holista Dua Yentumi, has filed a lawsuit against the company and its incoming managing director, James Ajenim Boateng. Now, this follows her rejection of the appointment of Ajenim Boateng as her successor. Dua Yentumi argues that her tenure as the managing director is set for a 4-year period, expiring on January 1, 2028. In her suit, she is seeking a High Court ruling to declare the termination of her employment as unlawful and in breach of her employment contract. Now, the Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga Central, Isaac Adongo, has called for calm among his constituents after concerns arose over his exclusion from the recently announced deputy ministerial list. In a statement addressing the discontent among some youth in his constituency, Isaac Adongo acknowledged their disappointment but emphasized the importance of unity and support for President John Dramani Mahama's administration. Meanwhile, in an interview with City News, the Upper East Regional Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Jonathan Abdallah Salifu, urged the president to consider the region in his next round of nominations.
Our appeal is that the president should also turn his attention or probably look towards Bolga Central. Deputy Minister, CEO, Deputy CEO, we equally have other people who have contributed in diverse ways, right from the constituency, regional, and national level, who hail from the constituency and who have been working to make sure that we continue to maintain and increase our strength in Bolga Central. So, because the first list of deputy ministerial nomination appeared yesterday, and after going through it, we didn't see our MP's name, we have not been all that happy. So it is just an appeal, even though the foot soldiers are not happy. It is an appeal to the president that we are still on standby And we are hoping that our MP and other members of the constituency will definitely be recognized, if not deputy minister, CEO or deputy CEOs or any other position that the president thinks that we can best serve. But like you rightly said, our MP has written a message asking all supporters to remain calm, and he made it clear that the mandate we give him is for him to serve in Parliament as a member of Parliament for 4 years.
That's the Upper East Regional Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Jonathan Abdallah Salifu. Let's do some sports now. The Ghana Police Service has arrested a female suspect in connection with the clashes during and after the Ghana Premier League Week 19 match between Nsawatreman FC and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, which resulted in one fatality. The suspect, Elizabeth Akosia Intiriwa, also known as Akosia Black Chinese, is the 6th person arrested in relation to the incident at Nana Kromansa Park in Nsawatre. Now, she is currently in police custody assisting with investigations. Well, the Chief Executive Officer of Nations FC, Kwame Chumesi Dankwa, has called for improved attitudes from clubs ahead of the upcoming meeting between the Ghana Football Association's Executive Council and club CEOs. His comments followed a tragic incident at Nana Kromansa Park at Nsawatre, which resulted in the death of an Asante Kotoko fan. In an interview with City Sports, Kwame Chumesi expressed concern about the state of affairs at Ghana Premier League venues, highlighting that several incidents have tarnished the reputation of the league.
I expect clubs to change their attitude when it comes to these matches. Because at times you go to a venue and you see the behavior of a club official, and you'll be surprised at how that particular official will be behaving. So I think this is a wake-up call to all of us to take a second look at our behavior at our various stadiums. So I hope who heads will roll, and going forward things will be a bit lowered and tempers will come down whenever matches are going on.
So that's the Chief Executive Officer of Nations FC, Kwame Chumesi Dankwa. This afternoon I've been joined in studio by a member of the sports desk, Edwin Kwakofi, because Accra House of Folk and Asante Kotoko have joined forces to address some security challenges at match venues in the country. Edwin, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Joy.
This is quite unusual to see Kotoko and Haas together, but it is for a good cause, I believe.
It is unprecedented. I think a lot of fans of Ghana football have called for both clubs to step up their engagements with the Ghana Football Association and the other stakeholders to bring some sanity to Ghana football. So it makes sense that the two will join forces for such an unfortunate issue. They released a statement and they've called on the GFA to ensure decisive action on the safety of players and the clubs in Ghana football. They also call for enhanced security at match venues. A lot of the clubs feel that they are exposed at these venues, no protection whatsoever, very few police officers. So in case any brawl breaks out between fans, they are left undefended and could suffer consequences as we saw on Sunday.
So this is primarily on security, but are there other concerns you have listed in that statement they released?
Well, it's mostly about security because they feel that in a league such as the Ghana Premier League, the players are paramount and their security must be topmost priority for the security agencies and for the GFA. So they are speaking ahead of today's executive council meeting of the GFA, where the GFA is expected to meet with the CEOs of the various football clubs and possibly take some decisive decisions about maintaining security in the Ghana Premier League.
What's the general feel among the football fraternity about this issue of security? Because I know it's been recurring, for a while.
Yeah, there have been a number of attacks. Obviously, aside from the death of Francis Yao Frimpong, there was an assistant referee who died in 2014 after he was attacked. A female referee was attacked in 2021. So this is a recurring issue that the clubs and the GFA have had to deal with. There have been no decisive action taken against the perpetrators. Of course, as you said, 6 people have been arrested. So the clubs are hoping that this time it will be stricter punishment to deter others from committing such acts in future.
But is that something we can look forward to in today's EXCO meeting?
Well, Keto Kriku in the past has spoken about his the fact that he feels that hooliganism is a problem for Ghana football and he wants to take stricter steps against it. So that is what the clubs are hoping, and that's what we expect, but it's up to the GFA to determine what to do.
Very well. Thank you so much. That's Edwin Kwakofi. He's on the Citi Sports Desk. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. Log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. I am Ajua Tinkrama Domina. Many thanks for your company. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
City 97.3 Accra. Anytime, any day, anywhere. The city is alive on 97.3 FM.
This is Brunch in the City, your smooth companion at work.